How you doing, folks? It's mid-February and I just wanted to give you guys an update of where I am. I haven't really put anything on YouTube in a while. And the reason for that is because it has been ridiculously cold. For the last 3 weeks it has been well under 20 degrees a lot of the time. And you know, a lot of people, you'll hear people tell stories, you know, I remember when I was a kid it was so cold. Well, I'm over 40 years old and I never remember it being this cold in Connecticut. So, you know, what we're going to do today is just talk about some of the things I got going on and in the works. And the first thing is, if you look behind me, is I got this beautiful load of wood for splitting, you know, for the fireplace. And one of the Christmas gifts I got for myself was a big mill Timberjig. I got this guy for Christmas, and I really thought that I was going to have a hard time finding some wood to mill. But I guess what happened is, you know, with all this nice wood, I've got some beautiful ash that's really long. That's going to be a good opportunity for me to try out the Timberjig. And that Timberjig was only like $120. There's two very popular milling options on the web. I see the Alaskan sawmill and the Logosol big mill Timberjig. I got that Timberjig at Bailey's online. I think it was on sale for around $120. But I figured I'd give the Timberjig a try. And with that one, you can get a steel rail to use with it, which if I like it, I will. But the nice thing is you can just get some pine boards and make your own rail to run that along. So it's a very inexpensive way to give it a try and see what you think of it. For all my landscape design and landscaping customers, I've spent a lot of time over the winter, number one, learning to use Adobe Photoshop so I can crop my pictures, I can make them look their best, and I can also make them a file size that's good for the internet. And if you go to my website and click on the idea book link, you're going to see about 60 pictures and growing of landscapes I've done. And one thing I've done is I got my first digital camera in 2003. So that would be over 10 years ago, and since 2003 I always keep that camera with me on the job. So I've got work going back 10 years where I can follow how things have come in, and I can also just show you guys some examples of work I've done. So if you're looking for a landscape designer, landscape contractor, and you're in the Newtown, Connecticut area, check it out, give me a call if you like my work. If you're not in the Newtown, Connecticut area and you just want to see some examples of work, whether you're going to do the job yourself or maybe you're a contractor looking for some ideas, check out the idea book link. Over the winter, I've also been using my woodshed hoop house to store my wood, and that has been working out wonderfully. You know, I was looking for a way to store wood where it was going to be dry. I wasn't going to have to fight with a tarp or a piece of plywood every time. And I'm really happy with the way that's come along. And I'm going to make a separate video kind of giving you an update on my woodshed hoop house. I want to show you a couple things, at least one other thing in the garage. Actually, another thing I've been doing over the winter, just for the past few days, I've been going to Chucky 2009. He has a channel about welding, and then welding tips and tricks, and watching some videos over there. And I have gone out, I figure it's cold out, and I've been practicing my welding a bit. I can't say I'm ever going to make a video about how to weld, but I guess I can make some videos at some point about how I weld, and maybe you can learn something or compare your beads to mine. I am by no means an expert welder, but it's really, the thing I enjoy about the welding is it's very centering. You know, it's the technique as far as how you lay the rod. I've been doing some stick welding, and it's really, I really enjoy, you know, when you're not rushed to complete a project, it's been quite enjoyable. It's almost been centering for me to be running some beads and practicing, and each time I do it, I do notice I'm getting a little bit better. And it's so great to practice welding with the internet. When I took my welding courses, I don't think YouTube actually was in existence. And now you can do some welding and then go watch somebody that knows what they're doing and compare how they run the bead and pick up all those tips and tricks. So I just want to show you one other thing in the garage, and then you know, later today I'll make a video about my woodshed hoop house. So the first thing I just want to show you guys is a video I'm hoping to make later, and I'm not going to make it now because it's the middle of the winter and I think this one's going to get expensive to fix. But on my Bobcat, on Bobcats, what you can do is you can loosen some bolts and raise the cab. In the top corner, actually, in the front of the cab, there's two bolts here. And if you loosen those up, then you can just lift the cab up. And I've had a hydraulic leak and I've been trying to track it down. And initially I thought it was this piece right here, which is called the bucket positioning valve, and I think it is this piece, but I thought it was just like an O-ring, and I really was hoping it was an O-ring or something simple. But what I think has happened is this piece has rusted above it. I looked around, and in the back over here, a piece basically just rusted off of the thing, and I pray this piece isn't busted or rusted out, because it's like an $800 piece. But over the course of the winter, first I cleaned out everything underneath here to see if I could figure out where the leak was coming from, and now I've just been narrowing it down. And if I pull out, I've stuffed some paper towels in here the last time I ran it, so this one is pretty dry. But the one that's closer to the bucket, so this one has got some hydraulic fluid on it, and I bet you the one back there, I don't want to tuck it out now, but I bet you the one back there is even covered with more fluid. So hopefully when the weather warms and, you know, some money starts coming in, I just think this is going to end up costing a lot of money to fix. I'll be pulling this bucket positioning valve off, either rebuilding it or getting a new one and putting it back in. And, you know, I can't really complain. I bought this machine in '95 or '96. I had a few minor things go wrong with it, but that one, because I store it outside, it just seems like that's a spot that it collects water. So hopefully we'll be doing a video about that, you know, what I do to fix that, if you're interested in those type of videos. And then over here is my area that I've been practicing my welding. I put this fan in the window. I put that fan in the window to blow all the smoke and exhaust out. And then, God, a long time ago, I got this Thunderbolt XL, which is a 300 AC, 200 DC welder. There it is. 300, 200. I don't think they make this one anymore. But, you know, I've had this for a long time, and I'm not really sure it's justified me having it with the amount of welding I do, but it's really, I do enjoy welding, as long as I'm, you know, keeping safe with a respirator and good ventilation and all that. And then along with the welding videos, you know, so here's some of my practice beads, and this would be 70-18 vertical up, and I feel pretty good about the bottom here, but then I think I wasn't moving quick enough across the middle. But like I said, it's really nice with the internet now that you can just go on, and I can go watch either Chucky 2009 or Jody at Welding Tips and Tricks, and you know, see what I'm doing wrong. And then here's this is some 60-10. Where is it? So right here, this is some 60-10 I was running, or 5P if you're in the know, with those nice dimes I was trying to get going. And then another thing, I got this Portaband. Every once in a while I'll do metal edging, and I had an abrasive disc for cutting it, but I got the Portaband because I really don't like abrasive discs. But there's a company called Swag Off-Road that makes like a little table where you can mount your Portaband upright like this. And, you know, for anything I'm going to cut, I think this is 1.5 angle. For anything I'm going to cut, there's plenty of room there. So that's another thing. Again, maybe not in the middle of the winter, but later in the season, I want to pick up that Swag Off-Road. It's a table. All you have to do is take off these 3 screws. There's a table that mounts on it, and then you put that table into another table, and you've got a nice little bandsaw stand. And I've looked at bandsaws, metal cutting bandsaws, and they're not cheap. And for the amount I'm cutting and for what I'm cutting, I think that this would be the perfect thing that'll, you know, take me a long time, or basically for everything I need to do. Well, thanks for watching today, folks. If you're watching the video and you work in the trade, or basically if you're just watching this video, you know, let me know what you've been up to. It's the winter, it's usually a slower time of the year, but whether you're actually getting something accomplished or you've got a plan forming in your head of something you want to do, you know, sometimes I think it's good to know that we are moving forward, especially on these really cold days. You know, and that's what I'm trying to do today, is just kind of remind myself that even though it doesn't feel like I'm moving forward, I certainly am. But let me know what you've been up to, you know, and how you fill a day that's ridiculously cold like this. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great day.